Now, before we can write our first line of JavaScript, we need to know what JavaScript actually is, right? So in this lecture, we will set the stage for the rest of the course, so it's really important that you follow this one until the end. And don't worry, you will start to code very soon. So, JavaScript is a lightweight, cross-platform, object-oriented computer programming language. Now that sounds a bit fancy, right? But that's no problem, because it's really not. So lightweight just means that the language doesn't use much memory of the computer and that it has a relatively simple syntax and features. Cross-platform just means that the language can be used on multiple platforms and systems. And finally, object-oriented means that it's a language that's based on object. And we will explore all of that throughout the course. Now, together with HTML and CSS, JavaScript is one of the 3 core technologies of web development. So this means that JavaScript is most commonly used as a part of web pages, but it's also used in environments that are not based on the web. But in this course, we will obviously focus only on the web. So on the web, JavaScript was traditionally only used in the browser environment, which means that it's only a client-side language. However, more lately, thanks to new technology called Node.js, which you might have heard of, developers have been able to use JavaScript on the server side as well, making it interact with databases and files on servers. But that is a whole big topic for itself, and we will not cover it in this course. So as I said in the beginning, this course covers the JavaScript language itself and how to use it in the browser, which is the more traditional way. So, summarizing, JavaScript is what made modern web development possible. It allows us to add dynamics and interactivity to more simple websites, but it also allows us to develop complex modern web apps that we can interact with, and that almost feel like the apps that we use on our computers or phones every single day. Now, something else that I think is important to mention here is that today there are a ton of JavaScript libraries and frameworks out there that implement different architectures and help developers build complex apps more easily and faster than ever. And I'm talking about libraries like jQuery or frameworks like AngularJS or React that are very popular, and that's just to name a few. But they all are just based on JavaScript, and so before using them, developers need to be really good at JavaScript. They need to really understand it. And that is exactly where this course wants to help you. Alright, so where does JavaScript fit in the development of websites or web apps, together with HTML and CSS? I'm sure that you already know that HTML is responsible for holding the content of a web page, right? And CSS is responsible for styling this content and handling the layout. So we say that CSS is for presentation. Now, JavaScript is the programming language that allows us to add dynamics into the picture, like dynamic effects, manipulation of the content or CSS, and much more. Another way to easily visualize the role of each technology, we can put them in terms of nouns, adjectives, and verbs. And here, the HTML does the nouns, like saying that the P element is a paragraph. So paragraph is the noun. The CSS then is the adjective, because it describes the noun, like saying the paragraph text is red. So there's the adjective. And finally, JavaScript is the verb, like saying hide the paragraph. So we are doing something here, so we have a verb. Alright, but that's it for the talking part. Now let's finally move on to your very first coding lecture, where we'll get you started with JavaScript and write our first line of code. So let's move on right now.